It's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you without a recap to watch, boo. I know, y'all. I know. It's been a minute, okay? They took a week off. I took a week off. It's been eventful, okay? But the one thing that they did was answer some questions. So let's get into it. First of all, I told y'all. I told y'all. And if you don't know that I already told y'all, that means you're not watching. You're not watching the recaps. So you need to go back and watch what I said because I said what I said and it ended up being true. Okay. Let me break it down because they told us exactly what happened with Martin. And I am relieved that I was right. All right, we got all the men involved in one room. All right, let me break it down to you exactly what happened because I'm pretty sure you missed the episode. And even if you didn't, let's walk through it together. Okay, Martin, he's in that middle. Okay, Martin was driving home with his granddad, Vernon, right here at the top. Okay, Mr. Pipe Piper. They're driving home from an event. They're kikiing, laughing, ha ha ha. They get a flat tire. Okay. In the midst of getting this flat tire, Martin, being the strapping young man that he is, gets out the car and says, "It's all right. It's all right, granddad. I got this. I'll change the tire. You chill in the car." Okay. Dark outside, dirt roads, everything, right? Martin is fixing the tire. He's changing the tire. A big truck, a big monster truck, drives past him, stops, doubles back, and parks behind the car. Okay. In that truck hops out two men, okay, of the less melanated persuasion. Okay, we already know how this is going. If we're in the community, we already know how this story is unfolding, right? So these two men walk up to Vernon and Martin and decide that they're gonna low-key try to rob them, or even just rough them up because you're in our town and you're not supposed to be here, and we have power here. So I'm gonna rough y'all up, knowing that they are two senators, a senator and a former senator. They understand that they have power and status, which is more of a reason to attack them, right? Because for people of their color, they're not supposed to have a certain amount of power. So they attack them. First of all, not even them, they attack Vernon. Okay? Think about being in the car and having to defend your grandfather, right? These grown men are coming up to fight your elderly grandfather. So Martin pops off. Of course he does. What else is he supposed to do? He pops off, okay? He's got the crowbar in his hand that wasn't meant for a weapon. He was only using it to change the tire until they bucked up on him, okay? So he gets to swinging. He's swinging. He's swinging. Okay? Gets both of them off of him. But on the second dude, he don't stop swinging. And this whole time I'm yelling at the screen, Martin, stop, please, please. And his grandfather finally stops him, but it's too late. It's too late, okay? One of them, remember I told you it was two men. One of them is now dead. The other is pretty much beaten to almost a pulp, okay? He still got a pulse, but we don't know what happened. He's out of it, okay? Vernon swoops in and he calls up the squad, all right? And the squad takes care of everything. You got the chief of police down there, which is Jacob's father, and Detective Malone, who is now Jacob's partner. They come in and they clean up the scene immediately, right? They clean up the scene. They take care of the bodies. They give Martin new clothes to go home with. They clean up the entire thing, right? You got Uncle Bill Hamilton, who comes in and he got the story together, right? He's the lawyer. He's taking care of all the ends, the outs and ends. He's tying up loose ends. He's making sure that everybody's good, right? And then you got Pop, right? You got Ted down there, who is a plastic surgeon. Remember, I told you one of them didn't die. He just got beaten really bad, okay? So now Pop comes in and he fixes the man up, bandages the man up. They give him a little money, a, a lot of money. They give him a lot of money and they send him on his merry way. He's supposed to go to a whole different country, okay, and live it up. But we all know how blackmail goes. It never just dies there, okay? These people run out of money. They run out of money, and instead of continuing the life that they've now built, they decide to come back. And that's exactly what old boy did. Now, I told y'all that it was going to be two men because in one of these scenes, when he's working as the busboy, and Martin finally confronts him, he says, he says something about his brother, right? Like, you remember my brother. You remember what you did to us, right? So there are obviously two of them. So yes, Martin has a body on his hands, okay? But this one is the one that lived. He got the plastic surgery and he's good. Now he came back. Of course he came back because he needs more money, and that's what blackmailers do, right? So he comes back for more money. But the team messes up again, okay? He wasn't never supposed to come back in the first place. And everybody's trying to make Bill this grim reaper or whatever, but he's really only been doing his job and making sure that everything is handled, right? But see, the problem was that they brought in Joey Armstrong. Joey Armstrong is the bad apple in all of this, okay? He runs the casinos, he runs the streets, he runs the drug game. Like, he's the messed up guy in the group. And of course, his resolution to taking care of this guy is to unalive him. Okay. Vernon is like, no, we need to pay this man off, give him more money, whatever he's asking, blase, blase, blah. Okay. They're not with it. They're not with it. They're like, look, he's going to keep coming back. He's going to keep asking for money. So Joey takes care of it. Now, the messed up part is the guy that was supposed to take care of this, Joey's lackey, who is also Doug's bestie, is now in the wind. Okay. He lied about taking care of him, took the money that he wasn't supposed to be taking, and now he's out in the wind. Okay. So even that's a loose end that needs to be tied up. But Joey is just not the way that it was supposed to go. Okay. Anyways, Martin is still freaked out about the whole situation. I mean, so freaked out that he decides to call a press conference, okay, to tell the press what happened. That man was going to go in front of the media and spill his soul, okay? If he was a social media influencer, that man went live and was ready to spill his guts, all right? But you know what stopped him? A picture of old boy unalived. And who showed him the picture? Mr. Bill Hamilton. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This wasn't the plan. This was not the plan. But are we relieved? Yeah. Yeah. Oh boy came after both of the kids. He was threatening the whole family. Now, granted, yes, this is a bad situation. And I really feel bad for Martin because yes, he has a body on his conscience. And now too, right? And that's a lot to handle. But it's so messed up in these situations because he could have told the truth from the beginning. All he did was self defense. And if they would have handled the situation in the very beginning, it wouldn't have been as bad as it will be now. If he tells the entire truth now, everybody going to jail. Everybody's going to jail. And you think Joey's going to let that happen? Absolutely not. He is not going to get caught up. So at this point, everybody's just Joey's bestie and under some dirt. And it's going to be a problem. Believe me, this is going to be an ongoing problem. Now, unfortunately, this situation has caused a lot of collateral damage. And even though Martin came home and spilled out the entire story to Smitty, he came home to his bags packed. And Smitty still sent him out with those bags. Because at the end of the day, he put his life, and the kid's life fully in danger by not being honest about the situation. And the sad part about it is, Smitty was completely right. I understand you didn't tell me when it happened because you were in shock. I understand that you didn't tell me after a while because you thought that things were, good and everything was taken care of. But when that man came back and he threatened our kids and got access to our kids, like, you came home and saw old boy playing chess with our son in the house. The next day you saw him in the park with our daughter and you still didn't tell me what happened. What am I? Why am I up? And then that whole, oh, well, I didn't want you, if they called you in court, then you could, have plausible deniability because you didn't know what was going on. BS. BS. You wanted to save yourself, but also you knew that Smitty was going to tell you that you need to do the right thing and turn yourself in. And that's where the trouble comes. Because Smitty is a journalist, right? For him, everything is black and white. That's why him and Jacob are besties right now. Because Jacob is a police officer that also believes that there's right and there's wrong. Either you stand on one side or the other. But Martin, as a politician, understands that there is gray area everywhere, right? And everything is situational. Everything. So there's no way to just rectify the situation. And Smitty is living in a little bit of ignorance, thinking that it can just, he can just come clean and everything will be good. No, that's not how society works, especially when you're in the public eye. I really do hope that they get it together, like for real, but I don't know. I don't know. Smitty is giving over it. Obviously, this entire week was used towards Martin's storyline. So a lot of people kind of fell through the cracks. But let me give you a quick run through of where everybody is right now currently. Eva and Mommy are still in the wind. They are living their lives amongst the situation. Leslie tried to befriend Haley in a way, but she's a little too uppity for that. And then you got Eva, who has been having problems with Kat and adjusting to the new job with Ted. But anyways, they're on ice. I'm pretty sure the whole Laura and jail storyline will come back up in the coming weeks. Naomi and Jacob, my second favorite couple, are doing great. They're both having their own issues. Naomi is still trying to figure out where June's family is because she's still in the hospital and they won't really release her until she agrees to be housed. So she's trying to figure out what's going on with that. We found out that the number that was on the photo is a family member of June's, possibly her older sister. So now we're waiting to see if they actually can make communication. Jacob is definitely deep into the storyline about Malone and everything that happened with Martin. He's getting dangerously close, and now he's a bit annoyed with his partner that he's been working with, which is Smitty, because now that Smitty knows everything, he's going to try to defend Martin and kind of throw Jacob off. So that's where Jacob is now, but he's going to get to the bottom of it. And just like how he came and arrested Danny from the Dupree's house, I feel like he'll be ready to arrest Martin when everything goes down, and even Vernon. Jacob is like, the law is the law, and I'm gonna snatch anybody up. So I don't know how this is gonna turn out, but I'm definitely excited to see. This is going to be a huge problem. It already is a problem. I mean, Vanessa is just completely off of her rocker. Now she wants to play queen pin to Joey, and she wants all of the information, and she thinks that it's a game, which is usually the case with a lot of women in her position, right? She makes a lot of money and she's looking for danger, right? Her life is just too safe. It's too boring. I need adventure. And instead of learning how to ski or something, she decides to have an affair with the biggest kingpin in the freaking state. Vanessa, what? What are you doing? What are you doing? And she's so reckless and ignorant and bright-eyed and bushy-tailed about this lifestyle that Joey lives. She gonna get somebody messed up. And it might very well be her. By his hands, okay? The last fallout that they just had when he had to put her in her place again in front of Malone because she was talking too much. Yeah, it's going to be a problem. But he's going to get her together, I promise you. And it's not going to be good at all. These two are a full mess and I'm over it, okay? I'm over it. He took Ashley out on a date. She came through and saw. She played mind games and made them uncomfortable. And, she was Danny. Okay, she was Danny. And he fell right into it because he's obviously still in love with her. But at the end of the day, this was never supposed to be, and it won't be. It's going to fizzle out somehow. Somebody's going to be completely over it. And the way that she just interacted with Bill in this last episode, she's really just waiting for Bill to come around. She's really waiting for Bill to come around. And at this point, once Bill figures out that Haley's pregnancy really is fake, because Ashley has been told multiple times now that she never had an ultrasound. So Ashley is definitely on her case. And once Ashley comes to the bottom of it, she's not going to let her go through with any of that because that's Naomi's father. Yeah, she gonna blow that bubble. So this is just in the wind. Love these two. Chelsea Cat, the purse brand, is still going strong. They're still working hard. Chelsea is now in love with this doctor, actually a neurosurgeon, and she was Bill's doctor when he had a stroke. They're doing really well. I'm really proud of her for just standing on business and like really expressing to that doctor how much she really does like her and being honest with that whole situation of her last girlfriend who's now become a stalker. Yeah. And Kat is still so wrapped up in the whole Eva situation. She's still sabotaging Eva when it comes to Ted with this job. She's just being really childish and sneaky, and she's about to lose Tomas. She's about to lose Tomas because Tomas got one more time to run into Eva after having a fallout with Kat, and for her to give him a soft place to land, for him to actually land. Okay? It's it's not far off, okay? She's really delulu if she thinks that Tomas is just on a leash right now. I don't know what's about to happen with that, but something's gonna go down. So I hope that these two keep each other smiling because Kat is about to be mad all over again because that man is not her man. Poor Nicole is just lost. She is so lost. She's angry at everybody. Everybody's lying to her, not telling her the truth, not telling her the whole truth. Now she's finally starting to figure out what happened with Martin, and she's completely in the dark with that. She's upset with everyone. I need her to decompress. She just needs to come off that white horse, decompress, and just be done with the whole situation. She needs a completely new revamp of character because yeah, it sucks to find out that your entire life was a lie. Well, at least your marriage was a lie, but you have to come to the terms that it wasn't. Okay, situations happen, nothing's perfect, and you can't just live in the land of angry. All right, like she's been playing victim mode way too long. I need for her to make some decisions because I'm over it. And the articulates are on the outs again. Okay. We already went through their whole blowout. They were cool. They went to do rehearsals at their hometown to build this tour. And once Anita was like, you know what? We look like some old ladies. I want to bring in a new choreographer so that we can kind of jazz it up a bit. They got upset again and triggered and was like, oh, well, you're just trying to make it seem like you're the best one in the group. So you're going to make us look bad again. Well, you can only look bad if you don't get the moves, sis. Get in the gym, get in some Pilates, and get in this rehearsal with this new choreographer. I'm sick of y'all. I'm so sick of them complaining. Like, dang, just because Anita was the most successful out of you three doesn't make her better, but it does make her a little more, understanding of the process. Like, let her run the process. Let her get a new choreographer so that this tour can actually be successful. Oh my God, they're so annoying. I know that was a whole lot to unpack, but we had to talk about it. Okay. I had to get y'all up to date because a lot has happened, but I'm really excited about what's happening beyond the gates. Okay. We got a lot of storylines to continue and tie up, and the drama is going to be thick this week. Okay. So make sure that you don't miss it. And if you have missed any of the episodes, of course, go back and watch my recaps. I got y'all, and I'm going to keep having y'all throughout this process. Okay. Hit me in the comments. Let me know how you feel about what's happened so far beyond the gates. And I'll be watching with y'all. Love you.